Hi everyone, and welcome to the Introduction to C# in Unity 3D series. So in this tutorial, we're going to talk about the unary and equality operators. Okay, so what is a unary operator? Now, a unary operator operates on a single operand. So it's going to operate on a single number or a variable. Okay, so we have the unary plus operator, which you can see here. It's just basically the plus sign in front of a number, and this is going to leave the operand as it is. Then we have the unary minus operator, and this is going to negate a number. And then we have the increment operator, which increments the operand by 1. So it's going to add 1 to the existing value of the operand. And then we have the decrement operator, which is going to decrement the existing value of the operand by 1. And let's have a look at this. So as usual, in my scene, I have my cube controller script attached to this table game object. And in my cube controller script, and like I previously said in a tutorial, the cube controller script is, the name is kind of just, random. Let me close this. Okay. So I have my namespaces set up, and I have my cube controller public class, which inherits from mono behavior. So let's declare a variable which is of the int data type. Let's call it num, and num is equal to 1. Okay. Now inside the start event method, I'm going to use a debug.log to, I'm going to use the unary operator to basically just log the value of num with the plus sign, so with the unary plus operator. And it's not really going to do anything, it's just going to leave the value of the variable num as it is. So when I click on play, you're going to see 1 here. Okay, now, so let me clear this. Now if I go back and I use the minus sign, so the unary minus sign, it's going to negate the value of the num variable. So now if I go and click on play, instead of 1, we will see minus 1. Okay, so let's come back here and let's talk about the increment operator. So an increment operator is the plus sign, so 2 plus signs in front of the variable or in front of the operand. So what this will do is, when the start event method is called, the value of the num variable will be incremented by 1. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Now when I click on play, you see that the value of num, which was the number 1, was incremented by 1. And now the value of the num variable is 2. Okay, so let's try this again. So let's say this is, let's say, I don't know, 34. Now, when the start event method is called, the value of the num variable will be incremented by 1. So 1 will be added to the existing value of the num variable, which is 34. And if I click on play, we should see 35, which we do. Okay. And the same way, we can use the decrement operator to decrease or subtract the value of the num variable by 1. So now when I click on play, instead of 34, you'll see 33, because we subtracted 1 from the value of the num variable, which is 34. Okay, now moving on, let's talk about equality operators. Now, the equality operator, which is these two equal to signs, returns true if its operands are of equal value, else it's going to return false. Okay, so let's talk about this operator here. And we're going to take this code example as a sample, okay? So let's go over this. So we have, let's say we have int a here, which is 1 plus 1. So int a is equal to the addition of 1 plus 1, which is 2. And then we have int b, which is equal to 2. Okay? Now inside the start event method, I'm going to check if the value of the variable a is equal to the value of the variable b. So if it's true, then when the start event method is called, we should see the boolean true. Okay, so let me clear this and play. And here you can see we see true logged to the console, because indeed the value of int a is equal to the value of int b. Okay. Now moving on, let's talk about this operator here, which is the exclamation mark and equal to sign. So this is the not equal to operator, and it's going to return true if its operands are not of equal value, else it's going to return false. So this is going to check if two values are not equal. If they're not equal, it's going to return true, else it's going to return false. Now, let's say instead of the equal to, I use this, okay, the not equal to. So what do you think should be logged to the console? And if I click on play, we're going to see false. Okay, so we see false because the value of A is equal to the value of B, and this not equal to operator will only return true if the two variables refer to different values. So let's say out here instead of 2 I had 4. Okay, now when I click on play here, we're going to see true because the values of int A and int B are not equal to each other. So that's all for this tutorial. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you found this useful.